Hello, everyone. Welcome to Artistically Married, where art and opportunity collide. We're your hosts, Jake Ackerman.
And Brianne Steinberg.
And, yeah. Should we say your full name? What's your name?
I'd say, just say G sharp.
G sharp.
Yeah.
What's your name? Oh my God. Good one. We're inviting guests now. We don't even know their name.
Yeah. No, but I was just thinking today, I was like, oh man, it's like G sharp, like the note.
Yeah.
That's the point.
Yeah. Believe me, it takes people years to realize that.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like years. I'll have people like I've known for like 5 years be like, dude, I was sitting on the toilet yesterday.
And I got your name.
I thought about it.
Yeah, so we're sitting down today with our good friend G Sharp of Road Waves. I was gonna say you're from here in Niagara Falls, but no, your band is actually from St. Catharines, correct?
Incorrect. Niagara Falls is correct.
Yes, yeah. Amazing. Yeah. All right, we get one for us.
Especially
1 point for Niagara Falls.
Yeah, I mean the very original lineup was all Niagara Falls, and then the current lineup is all Niagara Falls except for my keyboard player. So.
Amazing.
Cool.
All right. One for the good guys. But yeah, I was thinking that. I'm like, we've been friends for like over 15 years. And I'm like, what is his actual name? Tell us.
My last name's Yahia.
Yahia.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I knew that.
I did know that. And it used to be on your social media stuff.
It's on my Facebook.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Amazing. Well, we're so excited that you're here. We want to talk about all the things music, good, bad, and ugly. That's why we're really excited to sit down today. So yeah, why don't you get us started and kind of tell us a little about yourself, and yeah, kind of how your energy is on and off stage.
Yeah. So I've been playing music since I was about 12 years old. Just like 100 years ago now.
Right? Feels forever since you can remember.
Yeah. Which, I mean, it's getting close to 20 years now. I had a bunch of bands in elementary and high school, and then I started Road Waves in 2014. So we're on the 11th year, going on the 12th. And yeah, we dropped our first album 2015. And soon after that, we hit the road and kind of never looked back and toured pretty much from 2016 to 2024. And then this year I took a giant step back from the industry for various reasons. But I still play a lot and still passionate about music, but I'm definitely not as passionate about the business side of things as I used to be. And it's been great for my mental health, but not so great for ticket sales.
Yeah. We want to hear all about it because I think, it does get it typically, as a performer, as a stage person, even just as like, your own personal self, how you're projecting yourself. It's not common that people want to admit some of those things, right? Like we don't typically want to talk about like all the other side, like the darker parts of music. So that's why, we were really looking forward to kind of sitting down and having like this realistic chat with you. So it's awesome. Mm-hmm. Can you take us back to like, you said you were 12 years old and you were first playing music, but what does that, enchanted, enlightened first memory of music look like comparative to your relationship with music today?
I think like my first experience with music really was like just singing in the backseat of my mom's car when I was like 5 or something like that.
Amazing.
Like, yeah, I just loved to sing. Like I'd even tell my brothers shut up so I could sing like in peace and quiet.
Oh my God. Amazing. You were just like singing along to songs on the radio?
Singing along to songs. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And, but yeah, like I think my first experience with an instrument got really into Guitar Hero, the video game, and then got pretty good at it. And then with my former bandmate, Azamita, we got pretty good at it. And we looked at each other and we're like, why don't we just learn like real guitar?
I feel
like we would actually like, it would take us further than this video game. So we did.
Right.
Sat down, learned Darth Vader theme song and like all
Amazing.
These random theme songs we knew and Metallica, and it was great. We used to sit around, we were skateboarders too, so we'd sit around, we'd skateboard, and then we'd grab our guitars and play outside, and
Amazing.
It was great. And like I still feel that to this day. Obviously there's like years and years of musical knowledge on top of it and stuff, and I go through my phases where some of the magic is lost, especially at the beginning of this year. I think I needed to take a step back, and I was so hyper fixated on music since I started playing music. So like from 2007 to the end of last year, all I thought about was music and the industry and stuff. So at the beginning of this year, I kind of just like took a huge step back. I still sort of played, but barely picked up my guitar, didn't write any music, didn't play any shows. I think I had one show in February or something like that, one show in June, and then we just did one show in September. And I'm used to doing like 100 shows a year, so that to me, that was like absolutely nothing. And yeah, I just needed a second to like recalibrate myself. And I was on the road since I was like 19 till I was 29, 30. So
crazy.
Yeah, I just needed to readjust to what it meant not to be a touring musician. Like I kind of made that my entire identity.
Yeah.
And it helped me in a lot of ways because you kind of do have to like live the life you're living and be that person. But also like when it doesn't go right, it can really fuck you up.
Yeah. And I think too, it's really hard, and people say this all the time, is when you turn your passion into your job, where like that's what I did. I get it, right?
I saw this funny thing. It was like, because you know the saying, it's like if you do something you love, like you'll never work a day in your life. I saw a thing that was scratched out. It was like, if you do something you love, you'll never own a home.
Totally. Yeah, exactly. So like between, like you said, you mentioned the industry, and like as an artist, making your way in the industry, no matter what that art is, whether you're a visual artist, in my situation, it's performing art, and yours, it's musical art. I think our industry is really working against us, and that does like cause a lot of these chokeholds that we're in. But yeah, I mean, it really is. It's true. You're taking something that you love, and you're almost, abusing
commodifying it.
Yeah. You're making it so that like you take the joy out. There really is true art, and true joy typically exists without
it's the freedom
commodity.
Right.
Yeah, it's like your freedom of expression. It's your art form. So
exactly.
So I think once you start to put a dollar amount on that, then you make it like a a valuable commodity, like you said, and you take away that true passion and joy of it. Which
is, I mean, it's a double-edged sword, because you could be the best artist ever, but if you don't know how to like present yourself to the market, you're going to be that artist that dies alone with no one at their funeral, which is like, It's a choice, and there's nothing wrong with that. And I'm coming to terms with the fact that I might want that.
Really?
Kind of, because
you're coming to terms maybe with the fact that like it's okay.
Exactly. And the trade-off though is what I'm talking about, because it's great. Having lots of fans is fun. It's like whatever, people appreciate you. You don't feel like you're wasting your time ever when people are like constantly telling you how awesome your band is and your music, and people are telling you how much it changed their lives and like help them get through hard things. Like those are really the things that keep you going, right?
Yeah.
But the trade-off is what I'm talking about. It's like for example, like, and this isn't the biggest example I can think of, but it's definitely an important one for me right now. Is like, now that I'm off tour, I'm like, I have to like almost rebuild my life. Like I have no savings. I'm in debt. I'm like rebuilding relationships with my family and like friends and all that stuff. Like I haven't been around for a long. It's a big trade-off. Like it's a lonely life. You have your band and stuff, but after a while you're sick of each other because you're living in a van together, and like, it doesn't mean you hate each other, but also it like there's a whole other side of life. And I do truly feel like I'm still built for the road. Like I could do it probably for the rest of my life if other things fell into place properly too. Like, but right now in this economy, it's hard enough to find people that can afford to do that. Like I can afford to be a poor homeless piece of shit. But other people think they can. They last a year or two and they're gone. Yeah. And it's like,
it's those trade-off things that you were talking about. Like, it would be a different story if one or the other was different. But the problem is that, you're not there. So you're missing birthday parties. You're missing people's anniversaries. You're missing those like special moments. Those are what like bonds your family and friends to you, and you to them. So when you're away and you're missing all those things, and then I have heard this a lot from traveling musicians, especially, is that, even when they are home, they're not getting invited because their friends and family are so used to them not being there.
They're assuming you're not even home.
They're assuming you're not there.
I've had people come to my shows locally, like Niagara shows, and be like, I thought you were on tour. And I'm like,
you're at my show.
You're at my show, dude.
Oh my God. Then there's me. You're like traveling every single day. I'm like, what are you doing this Friday? What are you doing this Friday?
Yeah.
You're
No,
like,
I love that.
Go away, Brienne. I'm touring.
No, I love that. You know, I love that because it's like you still feel like some sort of connection back home. And,
yeah.
Yeah,
people are thinking about you and want you around, right? Yeah.
And I just want to go back to the point I was making before about how like some people can't handle more than a year or two of being on the road. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. In fact, they're the normal people. They're the regular humans that need more than just one thing to like survive, right?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
So,
or maybe it's like, I feel like people who can live like that, and I identify as that. Like when I was traveling, I was my happiest self. I get really stagnant and icky and itchy when I'm bored. Yeah. That's the worst feeling to me. For me, I'm just like, I have to go do something. I have to see something crazy. I have to do something crazy. I have to like inspire myself. And entertain myself, really. Yeah. So I think, any of the times that like we have, we fight for our traveling time and it's hard to get away, but we just love it. So I think it's also a different personality that is like thriving for that. They thrive in that excitement environment and traveling. So there's something like really big, and I've read lots of different like people who write about this, about the nomadic soul. And, we see it all the time now. It's all over, those people are maybe not musicians, but they're doing Instagram posts on their or YouTube videos on their travel experience. Yeah. So I think there is a certain personality that does thrive in that environment 100%. Too. So, it's not one way or the other. Neither one is right. It's just, you do see those personalities that do really well in that environment.
100%.
But for the most part, people can't handle that. That looks like stress to them,
Yeah. And, I was going to say, I feel like it'd be nice if you could like half and half, if you had a seasonal job like plowing snow or something like that, and then the rest of the time you could do it, like as long as there's some kind of balance. Like I don't know, same thing when I was ironworking. We were flying back and forth nonstop, and I'd get like a week at home with the people I knew, and then you're back out on the road. And I think too much like I loved the travel, but too much of it was too much.
Exactly.
Lonely.
Yeah, and like if you do it for like, because we were doing it like 8 months out of every year, it's like it stops feeling like travel, and that becomes your like normal. Yeah, which is great for if you like that, and I do like that. I think the hard part with doing the half and half thing is like, let's say you're doing the seasonal work, you're getting paid great, you can take a little bit more financial risk by getting like a house or a car or whatever. The rest of the time when you're on tour, you're not in a good money situation. So then you're like, it's even more risky now, because it's like you might lose your car. Like if you don't sell enough tickets, you're going to like be homeless when you get back or whatever. Right. Like that's the tricky part, is if you're all in with the traveling lifestyle, you tend not to take as much financial risk when you're back at home. So then you can afford to do that. And
if you don't want to buy into something that you're just going to be held back by.
Sure. And if you have a full-time job, then you can afford to take those risks, but then you can't afford to take the time off.
And like you were saying, like there is, especially now, I'm finding like people's attention span is like a blip.
You're preaching to the choir, because I'm in a jam band. I'm in a fucking jam band. We take our songs on journeys. You know how hard that is to sell on the internet, when you have to be like interesting in the first like second and a half. Or, no,
give me those one-hit wonders.
Statistically, they say it's like less than like 3 seconds you have to catch someone on a video, or they scroll to the next one. Yeah. Like that is insane to me.
Yeah.
Like our
2-second attention span.
Straight up. Like
music is literally working with time. Like,
I know.
You have to put time into it.
And it's like even more true with the jam band thing, because it's like sometimes you're gonna have to go through 2 minutes of like an awkward little jam to get to that like fire,
sweet
like peak
part.
Exactly. Like we like are building ourselves into it. It's a slow burn, right? Like
you mentioned you're a jam band. I've heard lots of people compare you to the Grateful Dead. How does that feel?
No, I can see how that's done. I mean, they're like,
I can see it.
Actually, they're the granddaddies of like jam bands didn't exist when they were around. Like that wasn't a thing until like Jerry passed, and it became a scene of people trying to do the same. Yeah, I would say musically we're not similar at all.
Yeah,
we're
more
closer
like,
to Fish and like Zappa.
Yeah, okay, that's what I was gonna say.
You know what I mean? Like, but Fish dealt with the same thing. They got compared to the Grateful Dead. Like all the jam bands have that kind of shadow to live under for unfortunately, but fortunately at the same time. Like I'm happy they were here. They're one of my favorite bands ever. But there is a connotation with the word jam band, especially in Canada. I find in America, because it's such an Americana scene, most people know what a jam band is. They either like it or they don't. In Canada, people don't know what a jam band is. I've had so many people in Canada ask me if we have songs. When I tell them we're a jam band, they're like, so do you play songs? And I'm like, yes. I'm like, it's a subcategory of genre. Like, it means we play different set lists every night. It means we take our songs on journeys. We connect songs that spontaneously on stage, you know, like we never play the song the same way twice. That's kind of what categorizes a jam band, right?
Okay.
It's like,
extensive creativity.
yeah, but it's not like a type of music.
Right.
Like you can be a funk jam band or a jazz jam band or a rock jam band.
Yeah, it's more of like the structure of your
it's a culture.
live show.
It's a culture.
That's what I think somebody, when anybody does compare you to it, I think it's because I've been at a live show of yours.
Yeah.
And it's the audience that's categorizing themselves similar to the Grateful Dead. They're just like,
exactly.
we're like Deadheads.
Yes,
so
100%.
You know,
yes.
We're following
that's the
this cult. Like we love them.
That
and like
is
they're our
exactly
band, you know?
it, right?
Yeah.
It's like even with like Fish, like Fish was getting pretty popular when Jerry Garcia was like on his way out.
Right.
So it was like, oh, you know, a lot of jaded Deadheads were like, blah, blah, blah. They were getting kind of upset at the whole thing. But then a lot of people were like, well, we're Deadheads. We love music and we're going now to where the scene is thriving.
Exactly.
And that's kind of what it's turned into. Now you have all these jam bands and Deadheads don't want to travel super far to go see like a band play for like $200 or whatever. So,
right.
you know, they check out all the local bands. So now there's this culture of Deadheads and, you know, fish heads and all these types of people that love to like travel around, and it's cool. I like it.
Yeah.
It's you tend to meet some really friendly people at those shows.
Totally. Yeah. They're so like heart centered and like, people that are just really open to like live music, and the dancing part too.
Yeah.
I think is like a really big part of jam band is
100%
is wanting to be able to move for like the whole set. So I think that's kind of like the culture and the cult that's involved in it, which I love.
And the music lends itself to it, right? Like you get some spaciness and like some explorativeness, and it's not consumable in a TikTok 20-second video. And so we've had a really easy time selling ourselves on the road, because if people see us, they're like, wow, you guys are a whole experience.
Show, yeah.
Right? But you see us online, and we've had so many people who saw us for the first time, like people who booked us and stuff, and they're like, I want to tell you, like, I listened to your stuff, didn't really get it, and then I saw you live and I really get it now. So it's like that is the unfortunate thing about the internet becoming the playground for the music industry, is like we don't necessarily thrive in that.
We feel the same way about the podcast, because we're just like, oh yeah, listen to our content. It's an hour and a half, no visual, and it's just talking, and people are like, I'm out. See you never.
Yeah, I totally hear that.
But I think too, for me anyways, I've gotten to a point where I'm like, it's not for you. Mm-hmm. It's not for you that wants to watch, you know, some truck run over crayons. Like, it's not for you.
Exactly.
It's for the higher level thinkers. Like, it's not for you, man. Put it down.
Totally.
Don't touch my podcast. You
100%.
can't handle it.
And I'm okay with like, you know, doing the video thing. It's like, I just don't like being the one in charge of it. Because
I was going to say, your music videos are great.
Thank you.
Like,
And I'm
obsessed with them.
I made the Small World one, and that was a lot of work. I made it on tour, and I was like so burnt out after, because I would be like all this work. You know, I'm like, if people don't know, I'm my own booking agent, my own manager, my own songwriter. I do literally everything, like advertising, everything. So on top of it all, you're traveling. You barely have time for yourself. You're already like malnourished and tired and like whatever, strung out or whatever the fuck you're doing on tour.
Yeah.
And then I'm like making this music video, spending every free moment I have on this video to get it out in time for the release. And it was great, but like that was such a like moment for me where I was like, I need to start like outsourcing something, because I'm gonna kill myself if, you know, like not suicide, but like kill myself from the amount of work I have. Like just like, it's just like, I'm gonna burn out so hard. Not well. Exactly. And like, but besides the music videos, like performance, you know, the performance videos for a jam band are like how you get noticed. People see your long form stuff on YouTube. They listen to an entire show, and that's how they fall in love with you. And I love releasing live stuff, but if I have to sit there and listen to myself sing and play while I'm editing this video, it will never get released. I just cringe too much at everything.
You'll just pick everything apart.
Yeah, I'm just like, oh, I'm not dropping. I hear one mistake and I'm like, no one can hear this.
Right.
And it's like, usually jam bands have like an archivist who like goes back and finds the best shows or the best songs from the tour and like puts out stuff, right? So I think I need to find something like that probably, but
yeah.
Our last show, though, that we played at the warehouse, something happened with the first set. We couldn't catch it, but we recorded the second set, and it's actually pretty good. I'm probably going to drop that one soon. But
how did you record it?
Just off the soundboard. We just bass player plugged his laptop into the soundboard, and we just caught every track.
Yeah, okay.
And it's funny, I make this joke, but it's kind of true. Roadwaves has this curse where like something always goes wrong technically.
Technically.
Like we have played some of our best shows ever, hired like an amazing videographer, and like the sound gets fucked up, or like something always goes wrong. So at this show, it was like the first set didn't get audio recorded, and I had my phone videotaping, and somehow it got knocked, and so it's like just our heads.
Oh my god!
I'm like, oh my god.
Come on.
I know, but
it's so hard because as like now on my like entrepreneurial journey, I'm just like, oh yeah, hire out everyone, every single job. Like if you think of something, put it on a project management board and find somebody who can do it.
Sure.
Even if it's just like small amounts. Like now I'm utilizing like VAs. It's a virtual assistant, and mine's in Hong Kong and like working on projects. I'm like, hey, can you build this for me? Do this for me,
See, and this is the thing. It's like when you're on tour, you don't have as much expandable cash, right? Like, for example, last year we were actually doing pretty well. So I allocated some funds to like an ads guy, which probably took out like $700 to $800 a month. Which is a lot.
That's a
lot. But it's like,
a mortgage payment.
Yeah, it's like $300 for the guy to do the work, and then $300 for the ad spend, and like a little bit more for more ad spend if it's working or whatever. And it's like, it's great and all, but like then I lost band members because they felt they weren't getting paid enough, and I'm like, fuck, there's this like financial decision I had to make, and it's like I wanted the business to thrive a little better so we could get more fans, so I could pay my guys more. But by the time that probably happened, they needed to find a real job or whatever, right? It's like that sort of thing. And then, so it's like when you're at home, it's easier because you have a full-time job,
100%,
and you can pay for those little things, and you don't get burned as hard if it doesn't work out. You can keep trying things. So it's like there's a lot of lessons you learn on the road where you're like, oh,
like I tried this and it didn't work. Yeah. And I was just gonna say that I think the part B to that is like entrepreneurship is like it's on steroids when you're talking about an art business, because
100%.
the risk and the reward is just so extreme. You could put like one video on TikTok, it goes viral, and all of a sudden you're an influencer.
Sure. And the problem with
the other where you try to take one tiny little risk of $500 and that's it. It crumbles you.
And the reward with the music industry isn't monetary, right? So it's like even when it does pay out, it doesn't pay out in money, which is like, obviously, who cares? You're an artist, but also like, unfortunately, that's the way the world works.
Yeah, they're so like, you're famous. Don't worry, we're gonna pay for all your meals, but you don't have 1 cent in your bank account. We own you.
Yeah, or it's like the ads last year were working great. We were making more fans than ever, and whatever. People were like coming up to me at random shows in the States and be like, "You're that frog guy," and I'm like, "This is great." Yeah. I'm like, "Hell yeah!" Like, we're making more in ticket sales now. Yeah, but the economy is getting worse. It's not ever going to catch up with the price of like inflation and like food and
you're like, great, I sold an extra $20 of tickets, but my hotel that night was an extra $50. Exactly. Right. Yeah. So it ends up. So that's kind of what I wanted to get into is kind of thinking back on the music scene and what parts, kind of felt thrilling, like we're talking about, and then how did it end up going to like places that felt dangerous?
It's a great question.
It's a scary question.
Well, I think to me, when I look back, like on my favorite memories of the music industry in the early days was definitely when the Perpetual Peace Project was at its height. Because it was just so fun. There was always something happening. There was always one person who had a great idea for some cool event to put on, and we would go do it, and that would turn into like a whole bunch of other events and meeting all these people. And I feel like the PPP was kind of an incubator for everyone. It was like we were figuring out who we were as artists and gaining confidence on stage, and then we all kind of went off and did our own things. I feel like Roadwaves started around when I met everyone, and it probably wouldn't have been what it is today if I didn't have the inspiration of like the community around me to like encourage, and 100%. Like show us what we were doing right and wrong and stuff like that. But then of course, like all things happen, it kind of just fizzled away, and the Niagara scene hasn't really been the same since then.
Yeah, they were definitely like they were a community.
Yeah.
And everybody it was like a energy vortex. You know? Everybody was just like coming to the events. And yeah, you're right. Everyone was opening their doors. We were at each other's houses all the time.
There was a lot of jams, and I don't want to say it completely died, because there's still a great scene around here. There's still great musicians, artists, and like awesome people still live here, of course.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was COVID or like just people getting older and having, you know, responsibilities and stuff like that, but I think and then like I think going back to that danger part of it, it's like I think for me when COVID happened, it was that's kind of when the remaining original members of the band started to fizzle away. Took a couple years after COVID, but like then it became just me. That's when it became more of a business than anything. Yeah. And that's when I felt like I would like there. I remember having a moment in like 2022 of like, should I just not do this anymore? Like, I'm like, now I'm like, felt like I was forcing it. I was like,
I have that feeling every single day.
Yeah. You know, but it only happened.
It's amazing that it was only once.
It only happened. What I mean is it only happened when the original members left.
Right.
Because then all of a sudden it was completely my band. All the responsibilities that we had shared kept falling onto my lap when one person would leave.
And they were like your family. Like you guys were so close. It was like your brothers.
Exactly. Right. So then that's when it felt like more dangerous. I'm like, okay, now this is real. We're not pooling all our money and investing in this all together. Now I'm the boss. I'm hiring musicians. They need to get paid after every show. If I fuck up, it comes out of my pocket. It's not a group thing. We didn't all lose $50. I lost 200.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like, that's kind of when it became a little more scary and real.
Yeah. Well, that's why I feel it every single morning. I wake up. It's just me. I'm like, I'm going to drown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's intense.
Yeah. That's so much. So then how did you rebuild the band after that?
I mean, as you know, like Canada took a lot longer to open up than most of the world. So I did have like a little bit of extra time to kind of sit around pondering what I wanted to do. Found some new guys. Luckily it happened like one at a time with the guys leaving. Like it wasn't just everyone left. It was like Yo left, but Matt was still the drummer. So then I just found another bass player. We did our thing, and then Matt left. So then I found another drummer, and then it was kind of just me. So it happened slowly. It was like, you know, one at a time. And it was tough. And like my producer Russ will attest to it, because I used to go over to his house and just vent about everything. Yeah. And he's
like, I'm charging you extra because I'm also your therapist.
Exactly.
I'm your therapist for free.
But yeah, just it was tough because, you know, after COVID, a lot of venues changed ownership, so all your contact lists were different now, and like. And it was the first time we went to the States. I think actually the thing was that really pushed me to go back was I was like deciding if I should book a tour at the beginning of the year. I was like, should we do this? Should we do this? And then someone random from like Albany, New York sent me an email saying they heard one of my songs on their like college radio. And I was like, fuck it. Let's just book a tour. Yeah.
Yeah. And there always is that, you know, like the hope of, you know, and in the enjoyment of doing it, that it like ends up bringing you back, right? Yes. You're like, oh, but I love it. And it's a thrill.
It did. Definitely the post-COVID years were definitely our most successful years. And like, most fun. Like
I was just blown away at the way that you guys were the way that you were branding yourself and like getting yourself out there. Like it was really incredible. I thought we were going to talk to you and you were going to end up, you know, kind of just doing like managerial for other bands. I really did.
I could see that eventually happening. I'm still very like jaded.
Yeah.
Yes. And I'm trying not to spread that.
Yeah. So my next question is, and I know exactly that's what I was going to say, you know, is the tortured artist really a thing? Like, is it, you know, that the industry kind of like turns you in, or like we can talk about specifics that you went through that kind of pushed you towards your breaking point. But yeah, is it real? Like, is it, you know, is the tortured artist kind of that personality that gets drawn into that lifestyle, or is it the industry, you know, creates the perfect storm for these situations?
I think it has more to do with the fact that, like, I think there's some truth to that. Obviously not every artist feels like a tortured artist, but I think the reason that's such a cliche is because as an artist, you're basically taking your fingers and forcing your eyes open to the world and witnessing it. And instead of like running away from it or numbing it, you choose to express it.
Yeah.
And that's torturous.
Right.
You're looking at the abyss. You're staring at the abyss and going like, I want to say something about this.
Or the darkness, or
exactly.
like you're being a voice for all these things that you're seeing around yourself, instead of just like most people sticking their hand in the sand.
Exactly.
You're willing to face it and talk about it.
Yeah.
And that makes it a really, a difficult situation for like you against the world, right?
Exactly. So I think that's part of the torture artist thing. As far as the industry, for sure, it doesn't help.
Right.
Like you just feel like a second class citizen half the time. You're like, why is the record label making all the money and I'm not that I have a record label, but like that is the way it goes. It's like the businessmen make the money and the artist like sees like a quarter of it or whatever.
Yeah.
And they're the whole talent. So I can imagine why even at the top of the industry, you have artists who are like, go crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, they just feel like so taken advantage of, taken for granted, right? Like, dance, monkey, dance. Just do the thing. Perform for me. Entertain me, 100%. Right? It's that like old school, like jester type of like relationship.
Yeah.
How did we get here with our most prized humans? These humans that we worship, and yet we're like, get on that stage and shake your butt for me. Like, it's bonkers to me. How we end up. And I think the only answer in my mind is that the industry sets up this like horrible microcosm because you can't do it without them.
Yeah, well, I heard this thing about, it was a Frank Zappa interview, and he was talking about how like back in the day, he's like, there'd be all these old suits, these older people, the older businessmen who own the industry, and they didn't know what good music was, and they knew they didn't know. And so they were always kind of willing to try things out, and they'd be like, like, sure, like, whatever, these kids think they're good, let them try something.
Yeah, they usually own the building, they own the resources,
exactly.
They own the newspapers.
And he was saying that now you have these younger businessmen who think they know what's good, and they don't give people chances that probably deserve it because they think they know what's good, and they're putting on people that they think are good, not that, you know what I mean? Like it's like they're not taking a financial risk at all.
Right.
They're going, this worked already, this stomp, kick, hey, shit. And let's get like 1,000 more of these.
Yeah. Yeah, and they're kind of like controlling the industry anyways. Like they're controlling what people think is good because they're just, this is what we're going to put out, and we're going to play it on every major label, and like everyone's going to hear it in every major radio station or whatever.
Exactly.
So I think you end up
a bunch
in
of clones.
Yeah. And I mean, the people who are like listening maybe don't know either. Like we're dealing with this 2-second audience that's just on a Spotify playlist, doesn't know even the artist they're listening to.
100%.
Like, I love this song. This is the best song.
And I mean, like, to no fault of their own, they didn't go to school to study what is and isn't authentic.
No.
It's always been the artist that told the audience what is and isn't good.
Right.
Unfortunately now, though, it's just like this technology is kind of running out of our hands.
Yeah.
And it's going to take some time before we get to a place, I think, where things equalize a little bit again.
Yeah. Or the robots are going to take care of all our art.
Oh yeah. We'll be the slaves and they'll be the
artists telling us what to do.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about the lifestyle of an artist?
I can talk about the
being on the road, but yeah.
Yeah, I can talk about my lifestyle as an artist. I can't really speak to anyone else, but
okay.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's a very dedicated thing. A lot of people make the assumption that I was always partying and having a blast, and it's
Were
like,
you?
I mean, there's some truth to that, like 30% of the time maybe, but like a lot of it is sitting on a computer at 6 a.m, sending emails till 9 a.m, practicing music till 12 p.m, repeating the process, eat some food real quick, repeat the process, and if you're on tour, then it's like you're driving also. So it's like an 8-hour drive, and it's like show up, you barely have time to eat food, you set up, you play for 3 hours, you tear down, you're out of there by 3 or 4 a.m, you go to bed for 3 hours, and you repeat.
Yeah.
So it's like the lifestyle actually is quite intense, and especially if you don't have a real team behind you, it's like if you're a DIY artist, like you're working harder than most people in the world, to the point now where any job I work, people are like, wow, you're such a hard worker. I'm like, you don't even know. I mean, this is the easiest thing
I could do
I've
this
done.
in my sleep.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I'll never work as hard as I did when I was on tour with Roadwaves. Like there will never be anything that will compete with that.
No.
I mean, maybe obviously there's like people who fucking do crazy shit. Like I'm not going to compare ourselves to like whatever, like heart surgeons and shit.
Yeah.
But
well, even heart surgeons though, they clock in, they clock out. Like
sure.
They're getting paid for their work.
There's
right?
there's a larger emotional toll, I think, with heart surgeons because the person might die.
If you're dealing with people's
so I'm not going to say it's like the
gotcha.
hardest job in the world or whatever, but like there are aspects of being a DIY artist that like nothing can come close to. You're doing everything for yourself, and you're right. You don't clock in or out. Like you lay in bed thinking about how you didn't sell enough tickets or whatever. Like you're always on.
Yeah, crunching numbers, doing whatever. Yeah.
And I will say my mental health is better than it's ever been since I stopped giving a fuck.
What? Stop giving a crap about what?
It's like the business.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, once you can finally let it go.
I still care about music.
Yeah,
I still. That's the most important thing to me ever. It's the realest thing ever.
Yeah.
But the business part of
it, I know. And I think we talk about with artists all the time on the podcast about this. And the thing is that we're not taught how to do it. You know, even if you are like a self-made artist and you practice your craft and you're so good. I mean,
that's why most of
so many artists.
That's why most of the successful people in the industry are people that went to business school.
Totally.
And I'll also say this. The theater kids do it better than the music kids. Like if you went to school for theater or did any sort of theater and then you try to take on the music industry, you tend to do better because you understand that it's more about putting on a show than like just the music.
Right.
Because that's a large part of it. You don't think about it as like a civilian or a regular person, but that is what you learn on the road. Is it's not just about how great your song is. You have to think of things to engage the crowd and make it feel like a show, you know, make people feel like you were there for them.
Yeah. Yeah, we just went to Parcels in Toronto. Yeah, so good.
That was probably a great show, eh?
It was so good, but it just it made me think of it because I think when we were watching it, I was like, oh yeah, there were so many little moments where they like made sure that they were like, you know, like changing it up or changing spots or, you know, just like maneuvering or the lighting or something. But you're right. You really do have to have like a whole thing. And again, we come back to that like 2 second, you know, engagement, 2 second entertainment. So you really have to like every 5 minutes be doing something different to like engage people and catch their attention.
And like, don't get me wrong. I'm not totally knocking the market because marketability is a real thing. Like, like having a great song is only one piece of the puzzle, or else I would love AI music. You know what I mean? It's like, that is only one piece of it. It's like, it is the person and their beliefs and their story and their history and, you know, everything that really ties it all together. So it's like, it's when I rip on the industry, it has less to do. I'm not like naive and think that, oh, the best musician should have the most fans. You know, it's like, I do understand there's all the context and stuff like that. I just think that you
really do, because you were doing it all.
Yeah.
You were booking yourself, you were managing yourself, you were bookkeeping yourself, you know, you were doing all of those things.
It's just that I just think we're feeding the wrong side of it all right now.
I think it's just misproportioned, the same as all wealth, right? All wealth situations. It's like, well, I have money, so I'm going to fight to keep it. Yeah. And you don't, so I'm going to, you know, chokehold you in a scenario where you're never going to get my money.
I saw a video of this band who brought like barbecues on stage and were like handing out hot dogs. And I'm like, this is where we've gotten. This is where we are now.
This is where we are. We got to like, feed the crowd free hot dogs.
This is how you blow up as a band.
Oh my God.
Like, that's the thing I'm talking about. I'm like, I get that there's the entertainment side of it.
Right.
But I just feel like we're a little too far on the one side of the pendulum. You know, it's like we're getting to the point now where everything is a gimmick.
Do you think it could be like the whole like I do find like, because I've been teaching forever. I've been teaching since I was 12, so I'm actually watching at the most rudimentary level. I'm watching our children grow up. And I do feel like, and even just looking at my peers of like our aged friends, that there is this like sense of entitlement across the board. And I don't know if it's like, maybe it's a historical thing. Like if you think back, like our generation, we didn't have any war. Our parents kind of went through this revamping of even parenting style where they're like, we're going to just shower you with love.
The gentle parenting.
Gentle parenting, you know? So I'm wondering if it's maybe because it's that generation now, like, you know, go forward 10, 15 years where they're the ones buying the tickets and like they think they deserve the world. Like,
well, what's that one quote? It's like, hard times create strong men create good times create weak men create hard times.
Love it.
It's like,
And
it's
that's
kind
where
of, it's a
we're
cycle.
at.
It's a
we're
cycle.
at that weak man
Yes.
creating like a bad scenario.
Yeah,
it's a bad
exactly.
scene because we refuse to work. Everything needs to be handed to us. Like wah wah.
Yeah. But
What did you say to me the other day? Oh, boo hoo.
But yeah. And I think that if we want to flip it and be optimistic about it, it's like, it's because we're coming from a really good time that this is all happening.
We've been so blessed.
Right. So like,
Yeah, it's true.
You know.
It's weird with the music industry. We were talking with Spencer Burton about that, but he says like the music isn't even what's getting sold anymore.
Yeah.
And that's weird to me because like when you started in 2014, like you're probably still in like the CD era and like people were buying tons of CDs and like I always thought that too. Like I'd go see bands that I loved. I'd buy the CD at the show and be like, I'm supporting the band.
Yes.
And then someone told me recently, they're like, they don't even really make money like selling a CD at a show if it's from a label because the label produced that CD and put that out.
Yeah.
It's like the only thing
They
that
take
they
so
really
much of
get is
it.
if you buy a T-shirt or like merchandise that they had to print themselves.
Right. And I think that problem actually goes back to the 70s and stuff, like of the record label paid for the session and all the recording and stuff. So even if you sold vinyls or CDs or whatever, you weren't getting the cut until you paid off the amount of money they invested into it. I think what's different these days is you can't even sell CDs. You can't even give them away. I can't give away CDs anymore. And now there's this question that all the musicians are starting to ask when they drop an album is, do I make CDs for this? Which is such a crazy thing. Do I make a physical piece of anything for this music? I mean, the vinyl thing is coming back, but not everyone has a vinyl player. Like, so it's like, now you can't even like sell music. Actually, you can't even like, even if a record label puts all this money into like your music, how are you going to pay them back? Streaming?
Yeah.
A tenth of a cent for every stream. It'll take you your whole life to pay it off an album. Like,
now Spotify is just taking their cut, you know? Yeah.
Exactly. And that's
looking bad.
That's a whole other thing with the AI thing. It's like, now it's like, I mean, the pool was already huge of people, humans who made music and pulling from the pool of money in the pile of the music industry. And now you have non-humans making money for corporations on Spotify, probably mostly Spotify, making these AI fucking fake
playlist
musicians.
songs. Yeah, fake songs.
So that now they're kind of taking some of the pile back to themselves. It's like there's already such a high competitive level. It's like, imagine we had like AI like soccer players, like
gonna happen
now. I know, but it's like,
AI
think about
surgeons,
it. It's already hard enough
surgeons.
to make it in these industries, right? Like the surgeons is fine.
Yeah.
Because it's saving lives.
Yeah.
It's, it's like, it's a necessary thing. That's what technology is supposed to be for. It's supposed to make like life easier.
Yeah.
Right.
Someone playing music for me does not make life easier.
No.
Yeah, especially when if you really understand that like our art is our therapy, like people who don't have artistic, and I always argue, and we always say this, like everyone's a different kind of artist, right? So like I think everyone does have their form of art. Like even the business entrepreneurs that I'm like sitting beside, like they just have it's a visionary art of like how a community is going to look or how a culture is going to look. But when it comes to like doing your like, artistic stuff in the more traditional sense of a visual, music, or performing art, that's your therapy. Like that's how you get out of your head. That's how you don't off yourself because you have this art form to perform. So I think, maybe we're going to see it going back to just being hobby. And not, there's no money to be made. So
I was talking to a friend about that, and he was like,
come back to passion.
Yeah. He was raising some interesting points about like, he wrote this song for his dad and like, he didn't perform anything on it. He used AI tools to like make the music, and it made him closer with his dad. And I was like, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm like, but is it worth
You're using a tool.
Right. But I think, is it worth the trade-off? That's the question we have to ask with these things. It's like, there are some great things you can do with AI.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I'm not writing off all AI. Like some AI is amazing. It's like catching cancers before we can. And like, there's incredible things happening.
Yeah.
The problem I see with the trade-off with the music thing is labels. This kind of happened with DJs, but it's still a human, so I'm not like bent out of shape about it. Is like labels now are going to look and say, we could spend all this money on this artist. They could end up being like a drug addict and say the wrong thing, and then our label gets fucked over for it. We lose money. Or we just create this AI musician. We don't have to pay it a cent except for a subscription fee every month. and then we get to keep all the money. Now, not only is that fucked up.
They're not going to embarrass us and do something stupid.
So not only is that fucked up, but so now you have less artists who can afford to make art, which means less artists being able to play music or make art or whatever in the world.
Yeah.
You have to get regular jobs, and we're just going to have less humans making art. That's the trade-off. That's the long-term outcome of that.
Well, and like I said, it's a therapy.
And that's even going to kill your things like your festivals and stuff like that. Like if you don't have performers anymore, then like,
communities aren't going to come together.
Yeah. And even I've heard people mention that recently, like, oh, we're going to have like robot DJs. So now instead of, Deadmau5, you got just a robot there and the music plays.
That's a bad example. As far as we're concerned, Deadmau5 is a robot. I've never seen his face.
I mean, before celebrity DJs, everyone huddled around the speaker. No one cared about the person making it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, we used to go to nightclubs. I don't know if there was a
music.
DJ. I think they didn't even on purpose. You didn't see the DJ. They'd be like up high or something.
It was because it was about the music.
It was about
That's
just
where the
music.
culture started.
Yeah,
that's why I fell in love with Pink Floyd when I was a kid, because their whole philosophy with the laser light show was they didn't want people looking at them.
Yeah.
They wanted it to be about the music, so they built this like light show so people couldn't see them. They were behind it all, right?
Yeah.
I think that's a cool concept.
Yeah, and it is a really cool concept. We were talking about off air about like not having to be the face of your art. Like I don't want to have to, I don't want the attention, to be honest.
Exactly.
I don't want to have to like explain to like my clients or my students, like I want my teachers to have that glory because they're the ones creating the art now. Like they've taken my place. I'm not the god. Look at your teachers. They're the ones choreographing.
Well, I have a good example of that. I can't tell you how many people I've met who, after seeing me, tell me, I can't believe you're not an asshole because you're so good at music. And I'm like, that is a product of people being treated like a deity because of being good at music.
Right.
To the point where it got to their head and they started, becoming a douchebag.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's insane. I'm like, I'm good at like making music with my fingers. That shouldn't make me entitled to be an asshole.
Yeah.
It always boggled my mind when people said that. I'm like,
yeah, they just assume that you're going to be a terrible person because you're good at your craft.
Yes.
Yeah, that's insane.
Which I understand where it comes from because it's true.
Yeah.
There's
I know.
Fucking asshole musicians
you
out there.
meet a lot of musicians where you're like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
You're so full of yourself.
Yeah, you suck, dude.
You suck. I know. It's so brutal.
Yeah.
So yeah, do you want to just talk a little bit kind of that, you were talking about that breaking point that pushed you to go into, some semi-retirement and get a job. I remember seeing you, I think it was it Christmas of last year or summer of last year?
Yeah, I think it was around Christmas or something.
And I felt like, you were just in pieces.
Yeah. I mean, there's certain things I won't talk about that are very personal, but I think there was a lot of things that happened. Like, first of all, I was getting pretty into drugs and alcohol, and just because I was so stressed all the time about making ends meet and, being alone all the time. And
you were using it as like a compensatory, right?
Well, I mean, exactly. After a show, you have the greatest time. You were watching a party in front of you that you're literally controlling. And then by the time you're done tearing down, everyone's already left. And you're just like, you're in your hotel room alone and you're still buzzing from the night. And you're like, you want to connect with people and you have nothing, right? So it's like, that's the side of the industry not a lot of people see. It's like, especially when you're not like a celebrity or whatever, there's not an after party every night. Sometimes you're playing
not just hopping off the stage and being like, let's go.
And then you got a crew tearing down for you. It's like,
limo waiting for you in the front to take you to an after party.
But I also think a big part of it was because there was constantly a rotating cast of band members. I was constantly, and anyone can relate to this who's like a boss in any job, is I was constantly training new guys. So it never felt like I was moving forward, especially with like art. It's like, I want to play new songs and stuff, but I was continually teaching guys older songs so that we could get to where we were before and then move forward. And
right.
It's just like, it burnt me out. It made me like very frustrated. I didn't feel like writing music anymore. It's like when is like all I could think about is when am I gonna have to reteach these songs again? Like I was just always just waiting for someone to leave the band, and it's just a lot of work, and it kept burning me out. And every year we'd get a bigger fan base, and I would go into more credit card debt, and my credit card was getting maxed, and there was a lot of breaking points that I went through, and I went through a complete mental breakdown last year.
Yeah. That's when I remember us, like you were here and you're like, I've lost my mind.
Yeah, totally. And then like also, and this is not a shot towards anyone because I know people love me and care about me, but like, and this is partly my fault because I identified as a touring musician for so long, but it seemed like that's all anyone could talk about with me. So even when I was like completely done, I'd have people messaging me being like, I can't wait to see your band next. And it's like, it's just that
you're not reaching out enough to even know that I'm in hibernation.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, no, like, how are you? And like, you know, it's the dance monkey dance thing. And it's to no one's fault. Like, I'm not saying I'm mad at anyone for it.
No.
But it's just like this thing that helped me realize, like, I don't want to identify only as this traveling musician. It's like, I'm a human.
Yeah.
I have other needs and wants. And I have even if I never set foot on stage again, I'm still a valid human being, you know, that deserves happiness and shit. Like it's crazy. You kind of got to mind fuck yourself to live that business music lifestyle to the point where you can really damage yourself if it doesn't go properly.
And I think that is what I picture and I envision when I think of a tortured artist.
Sure.
I think the tortured artist part is that we so closely identify, like that's our thing, right?
Yeah,
like
it's your baby.
It's your baby. It's your, you know, it's your like an appendage on you. So I get the same thing. And I remember thinking over the years what I've gone through with the dance studio, and same thing. Like anytime someone sees me, they say, you know, how's the studio? How's the studio? I mean, how's your kids now? Great. I've had kids. Thank God. Thank God I've taken my identity from dancer to mom, because you can never take that one away. But I think, that might be the tortured artist part, is that it's just so closely your identity that if you don't do it, who are you?
Yes.
Right. And you don't know who you are without it. And no one else does either.
Yeah, exactly.
So you're right in the fact that you've observed the fact that like they're not trying to hurt you.
No,
they're like, you said it. You said you're an artist. Like, what am I? You know, I'm trying to connect with you.
Yes.
By asking you about your craft. Totally. And now you're like, but I'm, you know, breaking up with my craft.
And you know, one of my favorite musicians, Jerry Garcia from the Grateful Dead, like that is like straight up how he met his demise. Yeah. Like he was like, the pressure of upholding this whole thing, not only the music, but this business of 300 of his greatest friends, you know, like he couldn't ever quit.
Right.
And it's like, you know, he had a diabetic coma in the 80s. And when he came out of it, like he quit smoking, like became a vegetarian, like stopped doing heroin, did all these things to better himself. And then
vegetarian and stopped doing heroin.
He went on, as soon as he went on tour, he was back on everything again.
Yeah.
You know, it's like he couldn't leave the lifestyle. The lifestyle just like it followed him back, and it eventually killed him. Like he didn't know how to separate himself from what he had built, you know?
Yeah.
And it's just like, and then also one of my heroes, the guitar player from Fish, did the opposite. Like he almost went through that same thing. He got arrested for driving on like huge amount of opiates or whatever, and now he's sober and he's doing an amazing job, you know? And it's like, so it's like it is possible to break free from it, but it's definitely a real thing. It's like it can get to your head. It can kill you.
Yeah, and I think people are using, you know, drugs and alcohol to like deal with the emotional thing. So if you could reverse it and you could deal with the emotional part, then you don't need the medicinals. But I've also heard a lot of people, and like maybe you can attest to this, that I feel like it's, you know, it's also the community around, like it's the environment, right?
Yeah.
First of all, you're typically playing at a bar where they serve alcohol. So like you're on stage, you're watching everyone drink. So like it is part of the surroundings too.
Yeah.
And then even further, we've heard some testimonies from friends that got really into the industry. And it was almost like they were using it like they wanted their artists to be a little subdued, or like be looking to the labels of the managers for supply.
This is going to get kind of conspiracy theory, but like,
let's go. Let's go.
You know, it's like, I've heard a lot of talk about how a dead artist makes you more money as like a label. Right?
Come on.
It's like you just feed them drugs, and then when they die, they blow up even harder, and they sell more of their music.
Because that's the story,
and then you don't have to
that's
deal with them ever again.
and you just get their music for free. You don't have to pay them or deal with them.
Yeah.
That's horrid.
Yeah, I'm not going to say that's true, but I'm not going to say it's a lie either.
Yeah, no, we've heard testimonies from some of our really close friends that ended up like doing the label thing and, you know, taking the 80-20 deal that they give you. You get 20%, we get 80. And, you know, I've taken them down to do some recordings in different places. Typically it was like southern states. And then, yeah, trying to like, you know, feed them drugs and prostitutes so that they were either, you know, indebted, addicted, or obsessed.
Yeah.
One of those three.
And that when people say selling your soul, that's literally what they mean.
Yeah.
Right. It's like you basically sell your soul and you get whatever else you want on this physical plane.
Right. Yeah. And a lot of times, yeah, like they do just, you know, want they need the publicity and they need that team working behind them. So they sign the deal.
And yeah, I mean, there also is that high of like the attention you get.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I'm a pretty introverted person, but even I will say like that is one thing I still crave. It's like that feeling of the energy you receive when you're like in the middle of a show.
Yeah.
That there's nothing like that. It's really, really cool. And it has nothing to do with me. Like, it's not an ego thing. I mean, maybe there's like a bit of an ego thing in it for sure because I'm a human, but like, it's a feeling. It's like this, like we're all together sort of
it's
feeling.
the connected feeling. Yeah. No, we feel the same way. That's why we're obsessed with live music because you get that energy. And like, whether you're a performer and you're on the stage or whether you're in the crowd and like you're watching a favorite band, you just get so much like thrill from it, right? And it's that connectiveness. And yeah, I think it really... regardless of what happens with the music industry, I think we are seeing that we're going to some more like community and getting out there. Our kids, we are also in that journey of our family where our kids are a little bit older, so we can start going out again. So we've almost been in hibernation as like an audience member, a music fan, a music lover. We haven't gone out a lot. So now going back into these environments, you're just so reminded of it. So I think it's really important to realize that it is the community, whether you're on the stage or not, right?
100%.
Yeah,
exactly.
As like somebody who loves that feeling, you really can get it just by like supporting other artists.
Yeah,
right?
Like this whole year has been kind of just me being on the other side of the stage, and just standing there and falling in love with that again.
Yeah,
because I did go to concerts a bunch when I was on tour and stuff, but you definitely get way less chances when you're traveling.
Yeah,
you have to like either plan it like way ahead,
so far and ahead,
or like on a whim if you're in a city and a band you like's there or something like that.
I was curious if you have any memories that you would like to talk about being on the road. Could be good or bad.
Yeah, I don't know. My brain doesn't work like that.
I know, right? That's what I said. I'm like, these are the questions that people are just like, I have no memory of 20 years on the road. I'm like, I get it. It's okay.
Yeah, I mean, all that comes to mind is like all the times we broke down in the van. And
oh yeah. Need the llanteria.
But honestly, like I feel like I got pretty accustomed to that pretty quick. You know, a couple of the band members would have like freakouts. You could see them just standing there with like their eyes like wide open, staring at like the edge of the road, not knowing what to say or do. And like I'm already on the phone with like the local like
towing or whatever.
The tow shop or fucking whatever.
Yeah, you're so used to it.
That's exactly. I think the craziest one was this was my birthday. I think probably 3 years ago, and I'll never forget it because it was the day Rogers went down.
Okay.
So all phones stopped working, and all like the debit and credit or whatever.
Yeah, I remember that. We were at an ice cream shop, and they were like, "Rogers is down."
Yeah. So we played in Alma, New Brunswick, which, if anyone knows, is like the only reason that place exists is because it's like beside a national park.
Where did you play?
What do you mean? The shore comes in and out.
Garden. Yeah. Well, it's the Bay of Fundy.
It's like a wonder of the world.
It's the Bay of Fundy.
Yeah,
for sure. But
we love that place.
What I mean is
best lobster in the world.
Well, like the Bay of Fundy's pretty big, so you can see that tide. Like, but Alma, New Brunswick itself. Yeah. It only exists because there's a national park.
Yeah. The restaurants are great.
Restaurants are great. So we played at the Octopus Garden. Love it. That's one of my great friends that we've been playing. I've been playing there since the PPP went on a tour there.
Come on.
And I played there in like 2015 or something like that.
Nice.
And I started going there every year. It's like it's a place where like honestly too big for, but it's just such an awesome spot. We go there. It fits like 20 people. And
such a great place.
Amazing place. So we play this show. And it was a decent show. I remember being frustrated by some sound issues or whatever, and it was just one of those nights. But so we're driving back to Fredericton that night. It's like probably 2 a.m, and the car breaks down on the highway in the middle of goddamn nowhere, and no phones work because Rogers was down.
I feel like the phones might have not worked regardless there.
Maybe you might be right. But I feel
like we lost some service around there.
Sure, but
regardless,
But what ended up happening is my keyboard player at the time just whips out a bottle of whiskey, and we just start drinking, and we just like made the best of it. And
amazing.
Then I took a little walk to see if I get service, and then as I was walking, the service came back.
Nice.
And called a tow truck, and it was good. We ended up still making it to the festival. We just like rented a van, and
good thing you had to get towed. You were probably too drunk to drive.
Oh yeah, we definitely were not gonna drive. Well,
You're
actually,
like,
my drummer.
Sure, you gotta drive
my
this
drummer.
car.
Actually, both drummers I've had didn't drink, so that's nice. But which is so not the norm. But
yeah, good for them. It's hard to do in that industry.
Did you end up like abandoning vehicles in anywhere? And
no, we never had to do that. Luckily,
leave it.
I don't know how we would even like be able to do that. We always just figured it out somehow. Yeah. Like tour magic. There's so much tour magic.
I feel like there was like a video of you guys on the side of the road in like the pouring rain. Like it was like
probably the
car was filled. Were you with Matthew James?
Oh,
maybe
that was a completely non roadwaves thing. Yeah,
okay.
But I mean, we were driving on roadwaves though. We were like in the ocean on the
roadways. Yeah,
that's a crazy story, but that's not.
Yeah, I remember seeing video footage of that. There was like water up to your to the body of the car.
Yeah. Oh
my gosh.
Yeah, that was crazy. The one time though, I remember breaking down like our accelerator, like the gas pedal stopped working. And I called up my homie Callum, who's an amazing mechanic, and he kind of like walked us through on video chat how to fix it. He got us to like cut the cable for our cruise control and attach that cable to like where the gas accelerator is on the inside of the car. And then he's like, you're gonna have to pull that wire for your gas till you can like get it fixed. And we're like, what the hell? We were in like the middle of Michigan, and we're like on our way to Duluth, so like 5-hour drive or whatever. So luckily we like broke down beside this corner store, so we go in to see if we can makeshift something, because we don't want to like it's like one of those like metal twisted wires, like hurt your hand or whatever. So we're like looking for like gloves or something. We ended up finding pliers, and we like makeshifted the pliers around so that the pliers were our gas pedal now. And we literally drove for 4 hours where our gas was pliers in your left hand. And it was like a wire going from the hood of the car through the window.
Oh my God.
It was crazy.
That's great.
There's a video of it on like TikTok and Instagram of us doing that. It's
I'm going to find this. Yeah. That's amazing. Yeah. All right. Well, I want to hear, I mean, you feel like you have a new lease on life. I want to hear all about it. We're going to take a break.
Sure. Yeah.
And when we come back, we're going to talk about the new and improved.
All right.
All right. We'll be back.
1, 2, 3, 4.
All right, we are back hanging out with G Sharp today from Road Waves, and talking all about the music industry. And before the break, we were talking about kind of you taking a step back. And like I said, when we touched base last summer, I could really tell, that you were kind of in it and you were going through a lot of emotional stuff. So we talked about you kind of taking a step back from music. And then, kind of how did it look at that moment when you decided to take a break and kind of prioritize yourself?
It was really tough. Just because usually, I definitely have seasonal affective disorder. So winters are tough for me.
Yeah.
And I always kind of got through it by focusing on booking for the next year. So when I didn't have that this past winter, it was definitely very tough. I went on literally, I'm not even exaggerating, 4 to 6 hour walks every day.
Wow.
Just to get through the day.
Yeah.
I was grasping onto anything I could, doing breathing exercises and fucking meditation. And I stopped doing every substance, even coffee.
Wow.
I was just so trying to ground myself as hard as I could.
Yeah. I remember when we talked, you said, I don't know if you want to talk about this, but you started tapping into some therapy.
Oh yeah, definitely. I was doing therapy and, and that really helped for sure. I just needed somewhere to put my mind to, and I was so used to putting it in a certain place that didn't exist for me anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew I just needed to get through the winter. Not to say that everything would, be fixed when it was warm out, but that is where I thrive.
Yeah.
If I can stand outside in a t-shirt and shorts, I'm usually in a good mood.
That's all of us, really. I don't think people, anytime I talk to people in the winter, I'm always quick to say to them, don't dismiss it. Don't discount the fact that this is not 100% your fault.
I mean, that's why Christmas even exists in the first place.
Right?
Lighting up all those lights and holiday
Yeah.
cheer. It's because the days are dark and depressing and we rarely see each other, right?
Yeah,
It's
we need to cling to something, and we also gather during that time, right?
Yeah.
So it creates this 3-week hiatus where everything shuts down and we just gather.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
as much as we all complain about it, I got to eat another turkey dinner.
Without it, we'd be fucked.
Exactly. And it's designed, like you said, to cheer us up when we are in the lows of the darkest place, right?
Yes.
Because after that, January, February, it starts to get
Sort of though.
We're getting ready to hope for summer.
Yeah, there's the hope for sure, but also
Yeah.
I will say January tends to be more depressing because all the holidays are done and now it's just winter.
Now you're just
Yeah.
waiting.
Everyone takes their lights down and it's just
Well, that's it. That's how I like to do it. I used to like to wait and put the lights up kind of mid-December
Yeah.
and then leave them up after Christmas for another
Sure.
month because I always like the tree with the lights and the snow, it looked pretty.
Yeah, I love it.
Where people are they're so amped up for it before that you start decorating in end of October, early November.
Yeah.
And when it's still nice.
Yeah.
And then by Christmas, it's I've seen enough of this, shut it down. And then you just got the dead of
Darkness.
winter.
Yeah, the
right?
dark.
In America, it's easier because you have Thanksgiving happening soon.
Yeah.
So most people don't put their lights up until after Thanksgiving.
It's December 1. Yeah.
Whereas for Canadians, the last holiday before Christmas is Halloween. So we put up all our shit after October 31st.
Yeah.
It's it's a lot sooner, I think.
Yeah, before me and Jacob got back together, that was my usual process. I would take down Halloween decorations and I would put up the Christmas decorations the next day.
Yeah.
It was back to back.
Whereas, Americans are waiting till at least the end of November to put them up.
Yeah, they're waiting till Thanksgiving. Yeah. All my mastermind coaches are all talking about Thanksgiving this weekend. I'm like, sucker, I'm doing nothing this weekend.
That's not true.
What? Yeah, this weekend's Phoenix's birthday. Yeah.
Anyways.
Anyway. I'm not making a turkey dinner for 30 of my closest friends. That's what I'm not doing. Awesome. So take us from that. I mean, that was obviously, probably the hardest. Anybody getting over any kind of addiction, it's the first 3 months of just saying no every single day for 90 days, right?
And it wasn't even just that. It was also my muse was kind of gone too.
Right.
It was
what you would just drown yourself in to quit doing that. You'd given up both of those things. Yeah. So 3 months after?
3 months after actually maybe 4 months after I started working at a winery in Niagara on the Lake.
Yep.
And it's actually been pretty great. to be honest. I'd never expected I would say that, but I love the people I work with. I've made some really good friends this year, and it's just been nice to like, you know, it's a very social job, so I'm still connecting with people, and like, don't get me wrong, I'm still playing shows. You know, I have a lot more time now for like side projects and like little tribute shows and even just time for practice. I will say the first half of the year, I definitely didn't practice as much as I usually did, but it was just nice to kind of reset.
Yeah.
And
take a hiatus.
Yeah. And, you know, I turned 30 in July, and it felt proper that I like something changed.
Yeah.
It was really interesting when you came back last time because, you know, you were a rock star for 10 years, which so many people, like, they just dream of that. Yeah. And then you came back and you were just like, I just want like a job and like a tax return. And like, that's just this normal stuff that everybody has and everybody hates. And they're just like, oh, I just wish I was a rock star. Yeah. But it's like that grass is always greener on the other side thing, right?
100%.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I do think people take for granted what they have, you know, like it really is the small things that are the big things.
Yeah, they add up, right? When you look back on a year and you're like, I have real friends that I can call, and if like they just want to hang out or we want to go do something or whatever, like I have connection, and I think you do sacrifice that when you're not home.
100%. And I would never trade my time on tour ever.
Like, no, and you did it in the right time. You did it when you were young and wild, and you had all that experience and adventure, you know?
And then if it ever happens again, if I do ever go out on the road, I still have that. Like I have experience, I have connections, I have my like skill that I've built up over the years. I have my like, you know, performing skill and strength and stuff like that. So it's not all for nothing, you know. And I'm still young. Like 35 is still your prime. Like I could do it again in 5 years and do it for another 10, 15 years and still be young, right? Like, so.
And I think there is too that like part, like you were saying, you know, kind of like Jacob was saying, like the dream, right? Of just being like, oh, you know, people dream of this. And I always thought to myself that I was the same way. When I was in my 20s and 30s, I was like all over the place. And well, I would say like till I was 30, 20s. My 20s, I was wild and doing all these crazy things. So at 30, when I made those decisions to have something that was a little more stable and sedentary, I knew what I was picking.
Yes.
I had done it. Like I knew what it felt like to be wild and crazy. I had no regrets. So you don't end up like 30, you know, and looking at your partner and looking at your life and going like, oh God, is this it? Am I missing out? Yeah. You know what you gave up to get to that. So
and plus most people they dream about 10% of the life they think that they want, right? It's like they just want the fun aspects of being a rock star. They don't realize everything else that comes with it.
Yeah. And I mean, we talked about all these trade-off things, situations that you don't get because you're in that environment, but the reality is like, you know, being able to do all those jobs, being a marketer, being a bookkeeper, an accountant, like all they picture is them being on stage.
I know.
They don't realize the business part that goes
that's
into
like
it.
10% of what I did.
Yeah, exactly. Getting to go up there just ends up feeling like it gets like shoved into the cracks at that point, right? Like I would put on a show, I put on like a performance on stage, and in my head I was just thinking, oh my God, like I just put in like thousands of hours to get this show to happen. By the time the show happened, I wasn't even enjoying it. I was just like, okay, get it done, you know, like get this over with.
Yeah.
Now that I'm able to kind of hover in the visionary position, it's a lot more enjoyable. I'm able to see my artists work on stage, right? So it's not like all of my blood, sweat, and tears. I'm just, you know, getting the kids there. So
I feel the same too now that I'm not so focused on like profit and like whatever, like marketability and shit. When I am on stage, I feel like more free than I've ever felt, you know? Or like, I guess as free as I felt when I first started doing it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. At the first, it's kind of fun, right? Being like really scrappy and resilient and trying to like, you know, live as poorly as possible. For some reason, it feels fun.
And like I said,
that's a skill too.
Yeah. I feel like it wouldn't have crashed and crumbled as much if the other guys I had could do the same thing. Like I feel like if I was all in it together with the same dudes and we were all taking the same amount of risk, I probably wouldn't have went down the destructive path I did. It just started to get really lonely.
Yeah.
As soon as I became the boss, it didn't feel like a family anymore. It was like, oh, I'm the guy doing everything. Every decision goes through me and they're just here to get paid. Not that was all they were thinking, but it just like there was this vibe of like, I'm kind of in this alone.
Yeah.
They can just hop off tour whenever they want and I'm gonna have to find a new guy. Like,
yeah, I get that too. Like now that I have hired teachers, I'm like, oh, you know, do they care about the business as much as I do?
And they won't.
Well, they won't, but I think too that like I'm learning those type of strategies too, where you try to like develop autonomy with the people that you've hired.
Yeah.
So that you're like, okay, you know what, I want you to like learn this song, but then I want you to tell me like 10 parts that you would change. You know, what would you do better? I want you to, here's the melody, can you put some lyrics to it? And just start giving them little like pieces. But
100%.
for me, it's like, okay, we're having a workshop or we're having an event, and like it's up to you. I want you to plan the event. I want you to choreograph for it, and you pick the music, and you guys go and do it. So then it is being able to like delegate, and then you're trying to like let go, right? Of the control of the art.
That's always been the hardest thing for me. I think I was very good at it at the beginning. Yeah. And then I got screwed over enough times that I'm so protective now. I'm like, I don't ever want to give anyone that power ever again.
Right. Yeah. It ends up making you like not trust, you know? And even though you're paying them, so like, you know, you have to keep trying and keep, you know, keep being disappointed.
It's like love.
Yeah.
It's like you're never going to fall in love with someone if you're too scared to do it.
Right. Yeah. It's like us raising our kids. Like, you know, we know how it feels to be disappointed, and we just keep doing it anyways. Yeah. Every day I'm ready for more disappointment, you know. And in honor of like letting the people around you grow.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is great. Yeah. Yeah. So why don't you, I mean, you've said that I know you guys had a show. We were away. You had one in September.
Yeah, we got one coming up now.
Yes. Tell us about it.
January 10th at the Warehouse Concert Hall.
Amazing.
St. Catharines, Ontario. We're trying something a little different this time. We usually have an opening band. This time we decided, because we don't play as often anymore, why not just have us play and play longer?
Yeah.
Just because we like to stretch our feet, you know, we like to like, get things going. And by the time we're done, we're like, oh, we were just getting warmed up. So this time we were like, let's just rent the space out and just do our thing and like have enough time to really, really do what we do best. And I've got a couple special guests sitting in, probably going to bring my lighting director and our light rig for that one. Just make it feel like a real nice big show in the middle of winter when everyone's craving some sort of connection.
Love
It'd be like
that.
second Christmas.
Should we sell frog hats?
I'm one step ahead of you. I'm actually thinking of buying the frog hats we wear on stage to sell at the merch stand.
Yeah.
Because everyone's like, can I have this? I'm like, no. This is a stage prop. I'm sorry.
Let's sell them.
Yeah. I think it's a good idea.
Yeah. I will outsource. I'm doing a lot of overseas sourcing now.
Nice.
I don't know why I'm winking. No one can see this. I just like, yeah. Let's look for some frog hats. I love this. Okay, so January 10th. It's what day of the week?
Saturday.
Oh, come on! This is gonna be amazing.
Oh yeah.
I'm getting a limo.
Let's go.
Let's go.
I love that.
And I think too, I mean, you kind of mentioned this, but yeah, and I feel like this because we only have a couple shows a year with my studio. And then it makes it really special, right?
Yes.
Like it's not none or never. It's not zero. It's like 4, you know, where you put all your energy in. And I think too, I always thought this is really great. And we talked about this before, that you didn't do a lot of local stuff because you were like, if we do too many local things, then no one ends up coming. It ends up being like, I'm the regular Thursday night band at Mansion House.
Well, the industry loves the word sell out, right? It's like if you can sell out a venue,
right,
then you can put that on your resume. Like we've sold out this venue before. And then you can play bigger venues. But it's like if you play like 10 times a year in one city, you sell 20 tickets or 50 tickets every time. You might as well try to like mush them all together and sell as many in that one show.
Totally.
Right. So even from a business point of view, it makes more sense. And that's why you see bigger bands, they do a tour. They only play a city once, maybe twice. I mean, if it's a jam band, they'll do like a 3-night run somewhere that they do great at.
Right.
Or whatever. But there is definitely like a strategy to that, creating some sort of scarcity and demand. But now even like that we're not touring, I still think it's important. I do think though that next year, because we've been around for so long now, there's this whole new generation that's never seen us and that doesn't go to our buy tickets to our shows. I might do a bunch of patios next year and just get back into like playing in front of people at pubs and stuff. Just because there's this whole like we've been around for like 12 years now and there's this whole generation that's never heard of us and will never hear of us unless we just put ourselves in front of them,
Yeah, that's kind of how it has to be.
Yeah, like restart from the beginning of when
Yep.
Roadways first started, and just
I think if you really want to get in front of young people, you just have to go through their computer.
oh god, no.
2 seconds at a time.
Yeah, you need 2-second YouTube
All right,
videos.
all right.
That's it.
Yeah.
Wearing the frog hat, shaking it.
Fully nude with a frog hat on.
Yeah, frog hat. That's it. That's how you're gonna get into the young people that have 2-second attentions. All right, I love this question. If you could give your younger self one piece of advice or truth, what would it be?
I don't know, because I don't have regrets, so I don't want to change anything.
Okay.
I
It
guess
doesn't have to be regrets. It could just be, something like
Sure,
some secret.
But
or,
if I told myself something when I was younger, it would change the course of my whole life. Probably.
Okay.
I don't know. I'd probably say something like, "Watch out, always stay honest," or something. Watch out, because this shit's fucked, man. Sometimes you lose yourself. You lose yourself in all this shit.
Yeah.
You can really get sucked into like some bad habits or bad like state of minds, and
Yeah, it's the mindset.
yeah,
That would be my advice for my
like just stay honest, stay good.
watch out.
Watch out, dude.
Watch your back.
But then he'd probably be paranoid. I'd be like, watch out. He'd be like, what?
What's gonna
What's
happen?
gonna happen? That's why I don't want to say anything to my younger
right.
self.
I don't want to meet my
I would
younger
just
self.
scare him. He'd be like, who the fuck's this scary dude?
Who's this guy with short hair?
He looks like me, but not really.
He cut all his hair off.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Amazing. All right. Well, we're going to get you to play us a tune. It's called Cyan Wave. It was a song that you brought out in June. And yeah, do you want to tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, so it actually was recorded on the same sessions as Frog Rock, Small World, and Hometown. All those songs were recorded in 2020 or 2021.
Wow.
During the shutdowns. So it's actually still the 3 core members of the band. All those 4 songs. It's Yo Izamita on bass, Matt Maxwell on drums, me on vocals and guitar. And then we got a bunch of other people to sit in. Mark Rogers is actually on percussion.
Wow.
Yeah, we got Joel Vizentine. He plays in like a Fish tribute in Toronto, and he's got another trio, organ trio. I'm blanking on the name, but he played keys and organ on that. And yeah, it's a song about, it's the visuals are like someone on a ship at sea and like longing to return to a loved one. So it's got this theme of, it's kind of what a touring musician goes through, of like being out there in the world and like thinking about the thing you're missing back at home. Yeah. And it's very different than all of our other songs. Very like slow and dreamy and soft, and I like it though.
A ship sails along the open sea, dreams of a journey said and done, begging to safely reach the shore, dreaming of a setting sun, the moment we finally hit the ground. I'm gonna find the breeze and watch as it softly hits your face. The world so at ease. The rain and the clouds wash away and light up this dark and lonely place. It's filled with a haunting sound and the light of your grace. Winter has only just begun, but I can't wait to see. I just can't wait to see the sun. see everything. Time has a way of slowing down. The moments we need, somehow it feels like I've seen your face before, and I don't know why it feels like I've known you all my life.
Amazing. Oh, it's so beautiful.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Oh, so good. Well, thank you for joining us. I cannot wait for January 10th. It's going to be amazing.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Well,
And happy birthday.
thank you. Thank you. What a great way to spend my birthday.
Hell yeah.
So fun. All right. We will, we'll chat soon.
Don't forget to follow us on Spotify, and you'll never miss a podcast.
All right. Good night.